Sometimes like even my fans don't even notice when I'm gone because I have things accumulated like content. But I've done that. I've been into a ranch for a month without
anyone knowing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about The Secret Life of Lele Pons, your new YouTube documentary premiering May 19th on YouTube.
My deepest, darkest secret is that I have OCD. I just had to touch everything. And if I didn't touch everything, like, I thought my family was gonna die.
Lele, I want to just give you a big hug. I had no idea that you were struggling with any of these things. I see what the world sees, a funny, beautiful, bubbly girl who's just always laughing and smiling. And to know that you're going through so much stuff, my heart goes out to you. Why expose your story to the world?
I'm someone that has always tried to be like someone else on social media, like super positive, everything's perfect, I have the perfect life. I thought it was about time, now that I'm not really ashamed and embarrassed of having OCD, because I thought it was time to let the world see my vulnerable side, because it had never happened, you know?
Sure.
I never. And I feel like, you know, I owe it to my fans as well, because they've always been so vulnerable to me, and they're just like, I want to be like you, and I'm just like, oh my God. You know what I mean? I can't tell them. When someone that you admire has a condition that you have, it just pushes you, it inspires you, it gives you hope, and that you're not alone. I feel like that's something right now, especially, that we all need.
Can you just kind of break down exactly what is OCD and what sort of compulsions do you actually suffer from?
There are thoughts and there's actions. There are things that you don't want to do, but your brain and your thoughts are telling you to do it. What I have is mostly thoughts and I do a lot of actions because of the thoughts. I do things in numbers. I do things in 3. I do a lot of touching, a lot of checking. I talk to someone, I repeat myself 3 times, but they don't notice. I touch something in 3 times. Sometimes I even get nervous when I let's say I do something that's 2 times, and I'm just like, I need to go back, and nobody really knows, you know? Like, why did you go to the bathroom 3 times? Everything is so calculated. It's insane. And then when it comes to thoughts, you know, I have fear of, if I don't do this 3 times, something bad's gonna happen. And you really, really, truly believe it. It's you know, some people, it's not logic, it's not normal, you know? Because I know for a fact that if nothing bad's gonna happen, but the feeling is so there that you actually believe it. Like, it's hard. I just have to do it one more time. Because I did it 2 times, 3. Just one more time.
Why 3? Is there a reason for that exact number? And what are those bad thoughts that you think will happen?
I connected 3 to religion because 3 is God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. I went to a Catholic school. And when you go to Catholic school, like, maybe I think at that time I got obsessed with something that had to do with 3 and the Holy Trinity. I remember that. And then ever since that, I've been doing things in 3, just because I'm scared that God will punish me. And it sounds really bad, but like, the people that have us really truly believe it, you know?
Of course. I mean, what do you think you'll be punished with?
I think that something bad's gonna happen. Like, I'm gonna have a bad day. I'm gonna lose someone. My mom. I'm very lucky because I've been working with my therapist for a very long time, and I can tell you that when I was little, I couldn't move. I was stuck in one place. I couldn't move, and my dad had to carry me around.
Now what do you feel?
It's mostly this. It's always this side. One time I didn't even make it to an event. My managers were like, why didn't you come to this event? Why didn't you come? And I was just like, I don't know how to explain this, but I was stuck in the bathroom and I couldn't get out. The pain of OCD, for me, it's like, let's say you locked a baby in the car and you see him there crying and you can't open it. That's how bad the feeling is. I went to a ranch that Katya, my therapist, sent me, and I met a lot of kids that have different types of OCDs. And, you know, it's just like some people actually like are afraid to go outside, are afraid to be contaminated. And one of my friends, you know, she would wash her baby in chlorine. She was so afraid. You
mentioned just now in a little story that you didn't make it to an event because you were in the bathroom crying. With your line of work, I mean, Lele, you're expected at award shows and photo shoots and all sorts of things like that. How has this mental health issue that you're going through, how does it impact your career?
It has impacted my career in actually other ways that are positive. Like, I'm obsessed with hardworking. I'm obsessed with making videos. So people are like, wow, she makes so many videos. And I'm just like, yep, because I can't stop. I stopped and I made like, no, 3 videos a day. And if I stopped, I felt like my account was gonna be deleted the next day. Something bad was gonna happen. So people were like, wow, she's such a hardworking person. Like, oh, look at this. And I'm just like, yeah, you know, it has to do with OCD too.
What happens if you go into a panic situation and you're expected to go do something maybe on like live TV?
I've had meltdowns, to be honest.
What does that look like?
It's just like me just asking for help. Like me just being like, I can't control this, I can't manage this, I don't know what to do. We usually have a wiggle break, you know, because I do have a lot of tics as well, that's Tourette's. And, you know, sometimes I try to hide, I do them, but I do it in very, like, in a way that you can't see them. But sometimes I'm just like, I need a wiggle break. I need to do them really quickly, you know? Like, let's say if I'm doing it right now with my hand, you won't see it, but sometimes I just want to, you know, like just do it, you know?
Right.
And that happens in interviews. Sometimes I actually do them in interviews, but nobody knows because I'm so good. My therapist said, I'm so good at hiding them. But if I tell you what they are, you will notice.
No, let it go. I know, don't, don't, let it go. You could do it.
What was it like watching all of that back?
Me seeing that, it's just like, wow, was it that bad? But I remember at that moment it was, you know? And it's crazy because when you're obsessed and when you have OCD, you don't even realize some things you do. You don't.
How do you manage it? I know that you're very close with your therapist, but what are the things that you have to do to get yourself in a place where you're like calm, cool, and collected?
We do things like exposures.
What
right?
is that?
Exposures means that you go out and actually test your OCD. So I was obsessed with when people have like a little bit of food left. You know, people might be like, oh, you have something there, right? But I would be like, I don't care who, like to a stranger, I'd be like, can you please like take this off now? Like what I would do, I would go to a place and my therapist, Katya, would put sauce on her face and she would just talk to me for a whole hour. And that's an exposure. And I'd be like shaking and like I couldn't tell her to take it off. That's an exposure, you know? OCD, you help it by making it feel uncomfortable.
So you do these exercises. You said you spent time on a ranch.
Yeah.
When did you go do that?
I've been doing that for like a lot of times. Like sometimes like maybe my fans don't even notice when I'm gone because I have things accumulated like content. But I've done that. I've been into a ranch for a month.
Without anyone knowing.
Yeah.
How often are you going, and what makes you decide to pick up the phone and say, hey guys, I gotta come?
When it's really bad or when I feel like there's a big project coming that might trigger a lot of my stuff, I go there to prepare myself.
Well, I mean, Lele, you have a big project coming out.
I can't go to the ranch, but I'm talking to them every day. I have sessions.
Is doing interviews and all of this like promotion, is that triggering?
Yeah, of course.
How do you cope with that?
I like this topic a lot, you know, and it calms me down. I'm focused, definitely focused. I mean, I do some tics while I'm talking to you.
Like, what have you been doing during this interview? Have you noticed?
I've been doing this but you won't ever notice.
You know, I know this was a very private struggle that you've been going through your whole life. Who knew, other than your mom and dad, that this is something that you're experiencing?
All my friends, like from back when I was like a young girl.
Do your collaborators know? Like, does Twan know? Does Hannah know? Because they're making content with you constantly, and it's cool that they're all in the documentary. But was that the first time that they found out, or they knew long time ago?
Hannah and Twan have known. They even visited me in the ranch. They saw some stuff I would do. Katya would make them like do stuff, like for example, like throw a pen incorrectly, or like how I wouldn't want to throw a pen on the floor, and I would be like, whew, she threw it in a bad way, you know, not a perfect way. There's no perfect way to throw a pen, but like, you know, I had that obsession of like throwing pens and picking it up and throwing and picking it up, and she threw it and I couldn't pick it up, you know, like, and then they see that and they're just like, wow, like it's just like something's taking over.